my little angels. Come on in, come in. I'm so happy that you're here. Come in, come in. Have seats. There's lots of seats. I never took them up from you guys visiting me the other day. So there's a hammock over there, one over there, and one over there. And they'll fit 3. They're big. 3 comfortably, 4 if you're friendly. And the rocking chair is right here by Bella's tree. And if she's right there, so go ahead, give her some lovin'. She loves that. And 2 of you can fit there. Okay, off you go. And the feet come up. Good job. And I have lots of hardback chairs if you need it, because we kind of all do sometimes. But I do have the meditation cushions out for anyone that needs them or just likes to lay spread out. Feel free. And over there, we have the tub chairs, and I've turned them all around so we can all kind of see and talk. Okay, great. I'm so glad. Okay, and I did do beverages. So for our chilled beverage today, I have done kind of a faux mimosa. So I have some sparkling water, and I have flavored as well as just plain with some juices. We have cranberry, grapefruit, and orange, and mix them together. They're delicious. I also have some frozen fruit. That's it. And then on the hot beverage side, we have hot chocolate and coffee, regular, decaf, sugar-free, and regular. And you can mix them and make cafe mochas if you like. What's that, huh? I do have some peppermint extract. Just use like a drop in your coffee and you'll have peppermint mochas. Help yourselves, everybody. I see some new little angels. Hi. Hi, my new little angels. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you came by. Please give it a thumbs up. You can share it. Sharing is caring. If you silently watch, that's okay. I love having the company. And if you're comfortable commenting, please do. We love, 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 love the comments on this channel. I love to watch you guys interact with each other in the comments. I love interacting with you in the comments. I love knowing what you think and you feel and your ideas, your suggestions, your questions, all of it. And the reason I like it so much is that it makes us connect. And when we connect, we take this great big world and go and make it smaller. And that's such a good thing, you guys. Such a good thing. And please hit that subscribe button below. YouTube's playing with my numbers again. Thank you. And hello, 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 hello to all my returning little angels. I see you. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate your support, your love, your views, your comments, all of it. You guys mean the world to me. So don't ever think I don't see you, because I do. Thank you so much. And please make sure you're still subscribed. Okay. So you guys know I'm Canadian, and we had our Thanksgiving back in October. But Thanksgiving is coming up next week for our US friends. So I thought I would just tell you guys how I go about Thanksgiving and maybe some tips on how to deal with people. Sometimes you don't want to people, but on Thanksgiving you kind of have to people. So I do have some tips and tricks on how to deal with certain situations. And yeah, so let's talk our cookbooks. I've pulled out 2 of mine today. This is a very old one. This is the Betty Crocker Recipe Keeper. This is one of your write your own recipes, and it's well used, well used. It's so well used, in fact, I'm trying to transfer over a lot of them into other ones. Oh, chicken shawarma, there we go. I was looking for that recipe. This one I love because there's actually, I'll show you. This is my mom's writing, and I love that. Anyways, I'll go through these with you, and I'll tell you how I go about Thanksgiving, because there is no reason for you to be in the kitchen all day long. Unless you want to hide there, that's okay then. But really, there's all kinds of ways you can get stuff ready ahead of time. Don't be proud. If you need help, ask for it. If somebody offers to bring something, let them. It makes them feel a part of things. If they can't cook, you need ice. you need them to bring you ice or rolls, because you know they're going to buy them. And if, you know, they try to make them and they're terrible, just have some Pillsbury in the back of your fridge. But we'll get to that. But one cookbook I want to recommend to you guys so much. I just loaned it to someone, so I can't show it to you. It's the Mark Bittman, Bittman, How to Cook Everything. There's also a How to Bake Everything, but I don't like that one as much. But the How to Cook Everything is perfect for people just starting out with their cooking. It explains everything in a lot of detail. And I still to this day will refer back to that for recipes on a produce I've never tried before, or a technique I don't know about. So I'll try that. It's a really great cookbook if you want to come up with a gift for someone getting married, someone moving out on their own. It's a great idea, and it will really help you with things. Now, let's talk Thanksgiving. So, for Thanksgiving, you need a protein, and I'm going to talk about vegan people, I'm going to talk about vegetarians, I'm going to talk about people with intolerances or allergies throughout. But for right now, I'm going to be really general. So you need a protein, whether it's turkey, ham, roast beef, fish, tofurkey, whatever. You need your protein. You need a couple of side dishes. You don't need 50, okay? Generally, there's a potato involved. Sweet potato is great too. I love sweet potato casserole so much. Usually there's 2 veggies. When I grew up, it was carrots and green beans. That's what we had: mashed potatoes, carrots, green beans, turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and then desserts. And we'll get to that too. So let's first talk turkey. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple stories as we go through this. My first, was it Thanksgiving? No, it was Christmas. Our first married Christmas, we were having both families over. His family is just his parents. Mine was my mom and dad, my brother, his girlfriend. Did my older brother come? Oh, and one of his family friends came. So I woke up Christmas morning sick as a dog with the flu. Luckily, we had done a lot of it the day before. I'll get to that. But right now we're going to talk about my poor turkey. We called both families, told them what was going on. They're both like, oh, we've had our flu shots. We'll come over. Don't you worry. We'll do everything. I'm like, no, most of it's done. Most of it's done. But I wanted to throw them a bone, right? I make excellent turkey. It is one of those things I make really well, okay? So when my poor turkey was done, now first of all, they're like, what do you mean it's not in the oven already? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. We're eating at 6. Oh, you got to get that turkey. No. Leave the turkey to me. But I thought I'll throw them a bone when I was done. Also, they didn't like each other when we first got married. So his mom's on one side of my turkey, my mom's on the other. I said, can you ladies check and make sure my turkey's done? I thought they'd wiggle a leg. I thought they'd stick a thermometer in it. Maybe poke a fork. No. These 2 women turned into Norman Bates from Psycho with their forks, and they're like, they killed my turkey. And I'm just sitting there like with my mouth hanging open, watching all the juice run out of my turkey. And then my mother had the nerve at dinner in a loud whisper, you know, so everyone could hear, your turkey's dry. No shit. Sorry. But here's how I make my turkey. First of all, I do not stuff my turkey, okay? I make dressing. We make it separate. I don't put it in my turkey. Just heard too many horror stories. I worked for public health. Every year we'd get phone calls about food poisoning, so I just don't do it. But there is a trick I learned from the Pioneer woman that I will tell you about. So what I do is with my turkey, I open up its little cavity, and you got to get your hand in there and take out the bag of bits, the giblets. Sometimes you have to scrape out the kidneys. I'm sorry if this is offending people, and the neck. Sometimes you have to take it out. Some people will roast it. They say it makes a better gravy. My oldest brother, loved the neck. So anyways, you decide what you want to do with them. I throw them away. Anyways, inside the cavity, I put an orange cut in half, an onion cut in half, and a whole garlic head. Remember I told you the head is the big part? The cloves are the little pieces. I will chop it in half and shove it in the turkey. And then whatever herbs I'm using, usually it'll be thyme, sometimes oregano, and I'll shove those in. If you only have the dried stuff, use the dried stuff. Anyone who turns their nose up, please. Then I like to take butter. I like butter. And you have to lift the skin of the turkey at the back. Okay, you'll be able to do it. And if you're squeamish, wear gloves. It's easy peasy. You're gonna kind of work your hand in and open it as you don't wanna tear the skin. If you do, you do, but you shouldn't have to. Get your hand in as far as you can. I'm very lucky I have small hands. And then get the other side and do the same thing. I like my butter, and I mix it with salt, pepper, a little bit of poultry seasoning. I like fresh garlic in it. Whatever you like, okay? I'll scoop that up, you put it in, and then you massage it under the skin so that it goes all the way to the top. So that as it's roasting, you're getting the butter melting into the meat. So you end up with a very moist turkey. I used to slather the top with the same butter, but I was getting oven fires. So now I just put oil on my hands like this, and I oil my baby, my turkey. Oil it all over. Now, people will tell you to trust your turkey. Okay, guys, it's not complicated, and you don't have to make it complicated. You could watch YouTube and they'll show you it. Tuck the wings underneath. That's it, okay? Unless you eat your wings. If you eat your wings, kind of leave them flat so they roast. Halfway through when you're doing your basting, tuck them under that. The legs are like this. You just want them like this. So all you're gonna do is tie them with a piece of twine at the ankle. You can even take, we called it the Pope's nose. It's the butt, right? That little piece there. You can cut a hole in that and put the legs through that to truss them as well. It's not hard, okay? It doesn't have to be complicated. People make it complicated. I also like to do coarse salt over the top. It makes the skin go so crispy. But I also will rub half an orange or a tangerine or something over. I love orange and turkey together. I think I love them. End of story. Now, let's open up this book and we'll start with our sides. These are sides you can make the day before, even a couple days before. Cranberry sauce. Okay, cranberry sauce. First of all, I need the can. I need the can of jellied cranberry sauce. I need to hear the as it comes out, and I need those lines because that's how you know where to cut it. But I do make homemade as well for everybody else. So you take your bag of Ocean Spray fresh cranberries. You can also get them from the frozen aisle, just thaw them. You're gonna put them in you're gonna wash them, okay? And then you're gonna put them in your pot. Okay, you need a good sized pot because it's gonna spit. You do not want to cook your cranberry sauce once it starts to boil for more than 10 minutes. Because what happens is the pectin that is released will die and it won't gel properly. You'll get a really liquidy sauce. So just remember that. Now, you're gonna make a bain-marie. You're gonna make a bouquet garnier. A very fancy term. You're gonna get a piece of cheesecloth or a coffee filter, because not everyone has cheesecloth. And in it, you're gonna put a cinnamon stick, some whole cloves, a piece of ginger, if you want, That's pretty much all I put in. And I tie it up and you just put it in with the cranberries, okay? It'll release the flavor and you don't have to poke through trying to find it. And by cloves, I put in about 4 or 5, okay? I love clove and cranberry. It just goes so well. You're also gonna put 1 cup of sugar, or you can do any liquid form of sugar, okay? You can do honey, you can do maple syrup, you can do half white, half brown sugar. It's up to you, okay? Experiment, play with it, you know? And then 1 cup of liquid. Most people will use water. I use cranberry cocktail because, you know, it's cranberries. Or you can use fresh cranberry juice, like real cranberry juice, which is tart. If you do that, just up your sugar, maybe a couple tablespoons, that's all. You're gonna let it come to a boil, stir it. You're gonna hear them popping, just stir occasionally, but like I said, don't let it cook for more than 10 minutes. Mash it as you're stirring to break up the cranberries. Then you're gonna put it in your dish, let it come to room temp, stick it covered in your fridge. Your cranberry sauce is done, okay? Your stuffing. As I say, I call it stuffing, but it's really dressing because I cook it on the side. You're gonna take your bread. I used to make it very different, but my mother-in-law taught me how to make her stuffing and my family goes crazy for it. We don't have a lot of stuffing if it's just the 3 of us because we all like it a different way. Uncle Angel likes dry toast, basically. I like mine moist, and baby Angel likes hers somewhere in between, and it's impossible to get the right ratio. But you take your bread, and use day-old bread, it's fine. Any bread, buns, whatever, cornbread. I would love to know how to make cornbread stuffing, but anyways. Break it up small. You wanna really, this is a great thing to get your kids to do. Great thing. Chop up an onion, chop up some celery, use a lot of poultry seasoning, and sprinkle it on. When you think you have too much on, put a little bit more. Trust me, I watched my mother-in-law do it and was having heart failure. It was delicious. Salt and pepper it. And then I just now discovered this last Thanksgiving, I fried up some leftover sausage. I just took it out of the casing and added it. It was delicious. I will now be adding stuffing to sausage to my stuffing all the time. Then you're gonna pour chicken broth, vegetable broth, whatever kind of broth you wanna use, okay? Or if all else fails, water. You wanna moisten it. You don't want it swimming, but you want it moist. Stick it in your pan, wrap it down, cover it with tinfoil and stick it in the fridge. It goes in your oven for like half an hour. I'm gonna talk about that later. Now your dressing's done. Okay. Your veggies should be pretty easy, guys. You're boiling them. We're gonna boil them. It's easy, easy peasy. Do your peas, do your corn, carrots, whatever, boil them. If you're making sweet potato casserole, make it the day before. Do it the day before, okay? When you don't have a house full of people, when you can do it in your pajamas, when you can do it at your own pace, okay? Again, stick it in your fridge. If you have a frozen turkey, you want your frozen turkey out 3 to 4 days ahead of time. Now, I grew up with a family that the turkey went in the bathtub overnight. They took it out the day before frozen and stuck it in the bathtub full of cold water and defrosted that way. How we did not get E. coli growing up is beyond me. But anyways, that's what my family did. I take mine out 3 or 4 days ahead of time and just stick it in the fridge. Easy peasy. If it's partially frozen when you're putting it in, you just up your cooking time. Now, I cook a turkey, this drives people crazy, about 2.5 hours. We don't get big birdzillas either. If I had a big birdzilla, then I figured out. It's easy, okay? You're cooking it at 350 or 325 depending, and I think it's 22 minutes a pound. That's all, okay? Or do the directions you say you have. The only time you do not defrost your turkey is if you've bought a pre-stuffed bird. It'll say all over it, but I'm telling you now, if you bought a pre-stuffed bird, it cooks from frozen. Just follow the directions. And there's nothing wrong with it, okay? do it. If it makes your life easier, do it. So Thanksgiving Day arrives. You put your turkey in about 3.5 hours ahead of time, depending how big it is. When your turkey comes out, you're gonna let it rest, okay? You're gonna crank your oven up to 400 and you're gonna put your stuffing in. You're going to put your sweet potato casserole in. You're gonna put your mashed potatoes in. That's right, I said it. You're making your mashed potatoes ahead of time before everyone gets there. You're gonna boil your potatoes. You're gonna put them in whatever you put them in. I use my food processor or my KitchenAid, one of the two. You can do it by hand. I add milk, butter, and I add them to the hot pan, okay? Your potatoes are out, your pan is still hot, add your milk and butter. It melts them and it just mixes better. If you wanna kick it up, add some cream cheese, add some sour cream, salt, pepper, add some cheese in there, whatever you want. Mix it all up, put it in a pan, it's ready to go. While your turkey's resting, in goes your potatoes, your casseroles, whatever, okay? You turn your burners on and you let everything boil. Your gravy is the juice you get from your turkey, okay? Because your turkey's resting, you have this pan, it's got all this great flavor in there. You wanna, now if you have a fat separator, use that. I love my fat separator. I use it twice a year. It was $8, I think. I love it. And you can pour out all the juice and the fat stays in. Do whatever you want. My mom used to sprinkle flour on the top of it and then whisk like crazy so there'd be no lumps. If you have lumps, just strain it. But what I do is I use Clubhouse. I like the Clubhouse packet, but I use the drippings instead of the water to make my gravy. Now your gravy's done. Easy peasy. You have someone else set the table. You don't have to do that. If you have a house full of people, use paper plates. They have some beautiful ones. You can do it, okay? If anyone doesn't like it, they can do the dishes, okay? This is gonna make your life easy. I want Thanksgiving to be happy for you, okay? Now, dessert. Make a dessert, and if other people make great desserts, let them bring them. If somebody makes pies really well, ask them to bring a pie. If somebody makes a trifle, bring a trifle. Trifles are great because they can be done the day before too. There is nothing wrong with having a McCain Deep and Delicious cake. I love those. I love those. Do you know you're supposed to thaw them? Anyways, those are great too. You can buy dessert. It's okay, all right? I don't know if in the US, do you guys have M&M's meat markets? They're all frozen foods. They have like Yule logs or Bûche de Noël, whatever you want to call it. You can buy, it's great. I have little things for everybody, okay? If you are cooking for vegetarians, do not use turkey or chicken broth. You're using vegetable broth for anything that requires a broth, okay? And yes, you need a protein for them, okay? Whether it's a tofurkey, whether it's a nut loaf, you ask them, and don't be afraid to ask them. If you have someone who's vegan and you aren't sure you're gonna be able to do a completely vegan dish for them, ask them if they could bring something for everyone to try. And go over the menu with them and just say, this is how I prepare this, this, and this. Is that because pretty much all of the veggies are gonna be okay. It's the protein. And a lot of vegan people will just bring their own. So there's that. For the dessert, I have made a cheesecake that is completely lactose-free and nobody knew it. I used lactose-free cream cheese. I used sweetened condensed coconut milk. I used butter substitute. What else? Yeah, everything was, I used a lactose-free chocolate chips. It was, because my sister-in-law is lactose intolerant. Nobody knew any different. To make it vegan, you need to buy special ingredients, but it's easy, okay? There is no reason for a vegan person or a vegetarian person to be sitting at your table eating salad only, okay? It's not that hard to include. And you might try something you like. Baby Angel was at school, and one of the meals was a crispy tofu. It is now her favorite food. So you never know, right? You never know. And some of the vegetarian substitutes look exactly like regular meat. You know, I have made lasagna with vegetarian soy-based hamburger. Nobody knew the difference. I tell people I would never trick someone. I've had people do that to me and it pisses me off. So we don't want to do that. Rolls, if you're going to make your fresh rolls, do it while everything's in the oven. You know, it doesn't take that long. If you have store-bought rolls, here's a trick. As you take everything out of the oven and you're putting it in serving dishes, put your rolls on a sheet pan out of the wrapping, stick them in the oven that's turned off now, but it's still warm. Warm your rolls. People will think they're homemade. Have the drinks you want for people there. It all works, okay? Now, peopling. Peopling's not always fun. Especially nowadays, there is so much controversy and anger. You know what? Politics comes and goes. Families forever, okay? Friendships should not break up. If you can't agree to disagree, don't talk about it. You know, you can say this is a politics-free zone. This is a science-free zone. This is a whatever-free zone. If you're worried about people doing that, have things for people to do. Have the sports on. Have games you can play. I have talked about this game before, but I'm telling you guys, it is the most fun to play. What you're gonna do is, everybody can go, you get a 1 minute per person, and you can have 3 or 4 people going at the same time. They have to be blindfolded. On your table, and I would put down something, one of those vinyl tablecloths from the dollar store so that it protects your table, and give everyone rubber spatulas. But you put a whole bunch of cotton balls down. And I've seen it done with marshmallows too, but I find cotton balls work better. And as the people are blindfolded, they have to put it on their baking sheet. It is so funny to watch how people think they have some and they have none. And then at the end of 1 minute, you're like, time's up, and then you count. So whoever has the most at the end wins, and have little prizes. Another game you can play is the candy game. I guess you could do it with fruit if you don't like candy. What it is everyone brings their favorite candy or candy bar, okay? They all go into a pillowcase. You are the moderator, so you appoint the most opinionated person as the moderator, and they have and everybody has a sheet of paper, and they know who brought what, okay? They're the ones that knows exactly who brought what. But as you pull one out, everybody else has to guess who brought it. It's fun because you start thinking, you like nuts. It can be a lot of fun. And then at the end, either all of the candy goes into like a candy bar, or the winner gets all the candy. Easy peasy. Another thing that you can do is you can do it with fruit, I suppose, or I don't know what else, but I think it's a candy. I think it's candy or chocolate bars or anything like that. If you're worried about people talking to you about your mental health, about something you don't want to talk about, employ some tools. Do let's talk about you trick. Ask them questions about them so they don't concentrate on you. How's work? How's school? How's the kids? How's your parents? How's your pets? What's your pets been? Pets are a great source of topic. Oh, wow, I love that lipstick. How do you buy your makeup? Where do you shop for makeup? Get people talking about themselves, and it takes the onus off you, okay? You don't have to talk about yourself if you don't want to, but most people like to. And it takes that pressure off you. If people start talking to you about something, you know, have you tried this vitamin and that will end your depression? God, I hate any sentence that starts with, have you tried? Yes. Yes, I've tried. Okay. Smile, nod, say, oh, that's interesting. I'll discuss it with my doctor. That way it shuts them up because there's no point arguing. Okay. You will not change this person. And they are probably coming from a place of love. Okay. And that's okay. It really is. They can have their opinion, but you don't have to follow it. You can smile and nod and say, I really appreciate that. And don't forget the compliment sandwich. Okay. You know, dear, you'd be just fine if you go for a walk every day. Compliment sandwich. Start with one. That is so nice of you to be thinking about me. I really appreciate the thought behind that, what you really want to say. But my doctor has put me on the medication. I'm working with him. I'm getting my therapy. Being outside in fresh air will not change this. End with a compliment. But if I ever feel like going for a walk, I think I'm going to call you because I think we could have fun. Compliment sandwich. It lets them off the hook. It tells you, it gets you off the hook. Now, I have one more Thanksgiving thing to do together, which I thought would be fun. These are Lay's holiday table. It's a limited edition. Turkey dinner potato chips. We saw them at the store. Oh, these are made in Canada. We saw them at the store, and it was actually Uncle Angel said to me, wouldn't this be fun for your little angels? And I'm like, yeah. So we're gonna try it together, and I'm gonna tell you guys what I think. Okay. Well, I smell turkey spices for sure. Okay. But this is what I hate. Look at the size of this bag. Guys, look at this. You saw me open it. Yeah, contents may subtle. Give me a break. Okay. You know what tastes like stuffing? Nope, I do have turkey. It tastes like stuffing with turkey gravy on it. That's what it tastes like to me. Let me see. That's really actually pretty good. Needs cranberry sauce. I would dip that in cranberry sauce. Actually, what I might do is take some cranberry sauce and some sour cream and mix it together as a dip. But this isn't bad, guys. It really isn't. Anyways, my little angels, thank you for being here, and I hope you all have a lovely, lovely Thanksgiving. And I am very thankful for each and every one of you. I love you, I value you, I honor you, and I am so very, very glad that each and every one of you was born.